we're gonna just keep this thing rolling, keep it going. And before we go into this poetry, the person who last ended off the poetry, I want to invite them back up here so they could share with y'all some jokes. We're gonna see if Mutiya Vision can make y'all laugh right now. So y'all, go, no music, no music, no music. Hey.
Thank you, Quindell. Keep it going for Quindell and Greener Poets Cafe. Gee, no pressure here, huh? So, just so you know, I've been using this new skin cream, and it rejuvenates the skin by removing the top couple of rough layers. And I think it's working pretty well because I've been using it on my left hand. I think the callus is almost gone. I often wonder how I came to be born with 5 fingers and this hands-free cell phone device. And I picture myself standing in the body picking line, and I ask God, what's a girl got to do to be born with G-cups? Give an arm and a leg? And God said, nah, just the arm. I often feel like my body has a lot in common with the skyrocketing rents in the gentrified neighborhoods. It almost cost me an arm and a leg too. But when I think about gentrification, the bad part about it is that it makes the neighborhoods really unsafe, you know? Did you notice that? I mean, think of all the extra police officers it brings into the neighborhood. Just what we need, another opportunity to be stopped and shot. But not all cops are bad, you know, not all cops are bad. The other morning, I was walking my dog at 3 in the morning, and this really nice police officer walked me all the way home. And you know how white people really love their dogs, right? To this day, I don't know if he was seeing me home safely or my dog home safely. These are the things I think about. I don't know. And before I even knew what gentrification was, I saw something really strange from my living room window. So I called 911. And I was like, guys, please send a car here really quickly. I just saw a white guy that I've never seen before walking by my house. He looks kind of suspicious. And it took him 90 minutes to get there, and by the time they got there, he was gone like a ghost. But I imagine, you know, it's getting to the point where we don't look like we belong in our own neighborhoods anymore. Do you notice that? And so, like, I imagine that my white neighbor down the street with her home, she's now calling 911. And she says, can you please send somebody over quickly? There's a black man I've never seen before walking by my house, and he's looking kind of suspicious. And I imagine the cops are going to show up in 90 seconds, you know? And they're going to shoot first and ask questions later. And on the news that night, they're going to say something like, well, what happened, Rich? Well, when we arrived at the scene, the suspect appeared to be robbing the house with a key-like object. We told him to stop and freeze, and he put his hands up, and the keys were shaking vicariously. We were scared, so scared, we pooped our pants. We had no choice but to shoot him. And the Fox commentator is going to be like, well, Rich, that sounds about right. He should have known better. He should have changed those keys over to a card key, you know. Then he'd be alive today. When will they learn? When will they learn? That's just what I imagine anyway. I know, I hear the stories across the nation. Stuff is happening. How many of you like football, baseball games? Clap if you like games. Have you ever been in, don't you hate it when you're in the middle of watching a great game and someone chooses that exact moment to come over and start talking to you? Yeah, right? So you have this but you're too polite to let them know that you don't want to talk to them, so you have this 5-word conversation with them. You're watching a game, and you're like, yeah. Really? Damn. Word. The other day, I was doing that, and my 4-year-old, I was like, and my 4-year-old said, now Mom, what was that you were saying? What was that I just said? And I was like, oh, you were talking about, oh my God, I got something in my eye, could you help Mommy blow it out? Only it didn't work because he blew it out, and then he was like, now what was that you were saying? Kids don't let you get away with anything these days. No way, no way. My husband and I, we have 8 children, 5 girls and 3 boys. Thank you. And you know how some people keep trying for a boy or girl? We kept trying for twins. It never happened. It never happened. But I learned something after having my 8th child. Apparently babies are what happen when you don't use birth control. Did you guys know that? I don't know, I skipped health class in high school because I was a vegetarian. I thought I was healthy enough. But I finally caught up and I got an IUD installed. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a sperm missile defense system. And now the sperm's all confused, because they're like, it's been over 5 years and nobody's gotten through. Oh my God, I never noticed this gate here before. Miguel, what's with the gate? Ramon, the gate. I know, go call Carlos, he can open anything. And I don't understand why all the sperm have Spanish names, because my husband and I are both black. They say this stuff skips a generation. Anyway. Anybody have school-age children? Clap if you have school-age children. Don't you hate it when you send your kid off to school and they come back with something they didn't leave home with? That happened? Like I sent my 2nd grader off to school and he came back an atheist. Apparently, the smartest kid in the class said God didn't exist because science was leaning toward the Big Bang Theory. I was like, who do you think created the Big Bang? That was God. I was like, so who are you going to count on when you need some extra help and you're in a pinch? He's like, I make my own luck. I was like, luck wasn't working too good for you when you busted those 4 teeth out your mouth last summer. He said, I know, but where was God? I was like, well, God was busy teaching you a lesson. You should listen to your mother. She told you not to run in the house. Because God works in mysterious ways. But the other day, I asked my 15-year-old, I was like, honey, did you take my wallet off the dresser? And she was like, why? Is it because I'm black? I was like, racial profiling begins at home? I know. But my 4-year-old, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my 4-year-old. The other day he asked to draw me, right? So I posed for him. And 15 minutes into it, I was like, honey, how's it going? He's like, it's going great, Mom. I drew your breasts. What? Now what else should I draw? And that's when I realized he had x-ray vision because I had all my clothes on. Don't call ACS. Don't do. I want to thank you very much, everybody. Please enjoy the rest of the show. Keep it going for Quindell. Keep going for Quindell.
No music. No music. Got poetry for y'all, and she can make y'all laugh. Yes, y'all make some more noise for Mutiya Vision. So we're gonna keep this thing rolling. Next up, we got another avid supporter of Green Earth Poets Cafe. Where are they? I think people left after the food. That's as usual, you know, freeload and just go. I'm good. That plate was too small. I need some more. I'm out of here. All right. So next up, we got a brother who's, excuse me, let's sneeze. We have a brother who's a writer, an established author, a musician, and he wears his struggle on the sleeve of his artwork. So right now, y'all about to see some passion come from this brother on this stage right here. Y'all make some noise for Press, Arthur Press. No music, no music, no music, no music. Hey, hey, hey.
Thank you, brother. How you guys doing? Y'all feel good after that food? Yeah. So I got this flute here. I'm gonna keep it brief. I started doing this flute thing, you know, living in Flatbush for like 20 years and dealing with the jokes and you know, it was my way of, anytime I would write, I would have nothing to write. It would take me like an hour to get stuff down, and I ended up picking up this flute by accident. And it sort of becomes my unspoken word, you know, when you got nothing to say, when times get too tough. So I ended up writing this book. It took me about 8-9 months dealing with a complicated relationship between myself and my father, and you know, just direct stuff that happened, me being homeless and ending up at Rikers, and just trying to deal how to cope with all that, even though it was brief. It hurt me a lot just trying to get through it, but I'm gonna deal with this poem. It's called Why I Do This, because I think as writers we come face to face with, well, you have to come face to face with our demons and our struggles, and how we can spin that into something positive for us so that we can bring hope and out of our struggles. So that's what it's called. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah. Yes.